Hey guys, hope you guys had a good day trading today. So today is, as you remember, pre-CPI day. I'm actually pretty impressed overall with the total movement that we had on the day. This is the second second day in a row that we've had some strong movement, overall total movement from high to low. Um, I posted it yesterday and today in my written TA, but my estimations for CPI tomorrow is year over year at 3.3%, month over month at 0.3, core year over year at 4.9, and core month over month at 0.3%. So basically, overall, again, best case scenario is unchanged on everything, but a miss on CPI year over year. However, my guesstimate is that we are going to see a miss on everything. So if we did not have CPI tomorrow, and again, I did not swing anything, mostly because you just can't trust CPI, and I just didn't think it was worth it. I was very, very tempted to swing some puts overnight because I do feel like we're going to get that miss on CPI. But what ended up happening today is we ended up getting a new supply at 448.8. So as you see, we did reject our 8 and 20 EMA resistance. We didn't quite get our bearish crossover yet, but we'll get that tomorrow most likely. And most importantly, though, we did close below the 446.7 demand. So this was our little consolidation area here that we did not have a breakout or breakdown out of, but now we did break down. So we remain in our black bear channel and our orange bear channel. Our orange bear channel, we got a support down at 443.7, which we also have a 443.1 supply. And realistically, that's my target for tomorrow. Our 50 EMA is going to be right about 441.8, and that's a pretty solid target I have for tomorrow, also assuming that we do break down. Now, that'll only be from close. That would still only be about a 1% day if we happen to get some big reaction, negative 2% wise. I mean, we could be all the way down back in the 430s, mid 430s tomorrow. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to get that big of a reaction, but it is definitely possible. I mean, if we were to have one of these almost $10 days, like we had on the BOJ on Thursday, let's see where a $10 day gets us. A $10 day gets us almost all the way down, 2.4% drop, down to 435. So it's possible, but I'm not holding my breath on that. But most likely our target is going to be right here in this 442 to 443 area. Going over to futures here, same thing. So our bear channel, we got our wick got a little messed up there. We'll fix that. That's just a trading view thing. I'm not sure why it does it like that, but sometimes on trading view, the charts just move ever so slightly. But today we did get a new supply at 45.40. So that pretty much put a supply in at the very top of our consolidation range here. And most importantly, we closed below 44.97 demand. With a closure below that, a bearish cross under of the EMAs, another rejection off the EMAs, I do look for further downside tomorrow. Again, if it was not for CPI tomorrow, I would feel pretty confident in some puts overnight. My first target realistically is 44.70. And then from there, we have our 50 EMA that's going to be right at 44.54. And the bigger target would be 44.37. Going over to the Qs, today was actually an incredibly bearish day if you zoom out. So if we zoom out and we have this channel here, and you could really even probably warrant going all the way back here to December. But as you can see here, this daily support and this support line goes all the way back here. It was last touched on first touched on March 13th. It has quite a few touches here in April and in early May. But as you can see, we broke through and closed below that support line. That is incredibly bearish. Not only that, but we closed well below the 372 demand that we were watching. We did put a new supply in at 372.7 also. We do have the bearish crossover under. So tomorrow, realistically, our first target is going to be 365.9 demand. That's going to be about where the 50 EMA is too. But much like on SPY, if we do get a pretty bearish reaction, I mean, a negative 2% day puts us about 360. It's a big ask to get all the way down here to 357.7, but a negative 2.75% day would be about a $10 drop, and that would take us to our next major demand right here at 357.7. I don't think we're going to have that big of a drop or that big of a reaction. Again, I'm still one of the other bigger reasons I didn't swing puts overnight is that I'm just not convinced that markets are going to want to react. I mean, if you look at the last 2 days, you can see that markets have just completely given up halfway through the day, the bear narrative, and have flipped over to bullish. And another big thing that you can think about here, and I've talked about this before, is the VIX, is the fact that you can see we're not really holding our own. You know, we're having these really long wicks to the upside now on the VIX. And with those long wicks to the upside, that makes you assume that we're going to see further downside on the VIX and further upside on the market. So realistically right now, the VIX is holding in about a 15.68 to 17.1 pattern. So we need a closure under 15.7, which is going to happen if we get a good reaction to CPI, or we need a closure over 17.1. Now, for the most part, I would not be surprised with a pretty bearish reaction to see really like a 20% day on the VIX. I mean, if you look at this day here yesterday, we were up 15% on a random Tuesday with really no news to support that. So a 20% move up on the VIX gets us to over 19. A 30%, which would be a big day on the VIX, so get you back in the 20s. So either way, both of those are pretty major reactions, but I do think it's warranted. I mean, just on our bull channel right here, 19 is possible. But if we lose this support, and especially if we close back under 15, then we're going to have to start thinking about, is this a temporary bottom on the markets or not? So we'll have a lot more news tomorrow, and I definitely be looking forward to see kind of where we're headed next. So I will see you guys tomorrow.